Hey guys, welcome to my Nigerian farm. So we all know that farming is very capital intensive. If you want to start farming, you need a lot of money. You need to buy the land or at least lease the land and build infrastructure. And building is not cheap, especially when it comes to farming. So the best thing to do is to look for a way to cut cost. And especially if you are new to farming and you've not done it before and you're trying to test your feet in the muddy waters. So that's what I did. And hopefully people will learn. Because if you're waiting for the large capital to start farming, let's say you're working for someone on a farm and you know you can go on your own and do something better. You don't have to have all the money to build infrastructure or fence it and do all those things. You can subsidize some of these things. So today, let me show you an example of how I try to save money while I was starting to farm. I would be talking about the auxiliary incubator, as I call it. So before I continue, guys, please subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to build my subscriber base. So please work with me on that. It's free. Just subscribe and like my videos and share it with your friends. So this is what I did. There was a time when I was raising native chicken and they were multiplying and multiplying and I didn't have an incubator. Sometimes when chicken lay eggs in the farm, there are circumstances that can lead to them abandoning those eggs. And you know that those eggs are fertilized because you know that the male cock, the cock, is actually doing his work. Oh, and one thing with native chicken is this. If you handle their eggs and somehow they could perceive your odor from that egg, they'll no longer cover that egg. So it's always recommended if you're going to touch native chicken egg, use a spoon or use something else. Don't use your hand to do that. Anyway, we had a situation in the farm when we had a lot of eggs that were fertilized, but the chickens were no longer covering the eggs. Maybe because of soldier ants pushed them away and they were no longer brooding, or maybe it was rain or something like that. So I collected those eggs and I didn't have an incubator. I collected those eggs and I constructed an auxiliary incubator just so I could hatch some of those eggs. I didn't want to waste them. There were over 50 eggs and that's a lot. So this is the incubator I did. I got a carton and I used sawdust. I put sawdust as a base in that carton. I put it in my house where I connected electricity with, and I used this bulb. Don't use one of those energy saver bulb. You need a bulb that can generate heat in anything. I use this one. And this one, you need something that can generate heat. Then right below the heat source, you put in water, a plate of water basically. It's recommended to use a metal plate because metal plates will accelerate evaporation of the water, and you need that water to create source of humidity. So you put that by the side, you put the water and you put the light and then you put in the eggs. I didn't have a metal plate or my wife could not spare one from the kitchen, so I just used the plastic plate. They all work. And over time you see that this water must have evaporated, so you keep replenishing it. You know that the duration for the eggs is about 21 days, so you mark the eggs and the dates you put them in this makeshift incubator. So that's what we have. You now cover the carton, you put it this way and you cover it. You allow very minimal heat escape because what you want to do is basically generate heat. With this kind of incubator, it's nice for you to turn the eggs every 3 hours. Personally, I turn them 3 times a day. I wake up in the morning, I turn them, then I go to work. In the afternoon by 12 o'clock, I ask someone to turn it on, maybe my wife or anyone at home, to turn the eggs. Each of the eggs must be rotated or turned. If you leave the eggs while they are still forming into a chick, the yolk might just stick to one side of the egg and it will not form properly. So you need to always move them around. And that's what the chicken does when she is brooding. That's what the hen does when she is brooding her eggs naturally. So at least 3 times a day you turn this egg, you move them, let there be some kind of motion. So you do this every day, and as you can see, I did this, and this is the result. I actually recorded the maximum I recorded in this homemade incubator was about 40% hatch rate. That was amazing, 40% to be honest. And There were some where I didn't record any hatching. It could be because the eggs are not fertilized, or maybe the eggs were dead. Because, like I said, there were, sometimes during the rain, some chickens lay egg outside and it will rain on them, and the place may get flooded. If an egg is laid in a place where it gets flooded, the chicken inside dies. It doesn't continue anymore. I didn't have the candle to actually test the viability of the chicken. This is what I had: a carton and a blind bulb, and I used it to do an incubator. So these are my results. You can see they are very beautiful chicks, and it was a successful experiment. I kept on doing this. It's better to have 2 or 3 chicks than to have 50 eggs go to waste. It's better that way. Who knows what those 2 or 3 chicks can give to you in the future? And that's what works for me. 40% is not bad for a locally made thing. I think one of the problem I had was I wasn't always turning it. I was not around. I had to work, and sometimes there will be people. There won't be people at home to help me turn the eggs. That could have contributed to the low hatching rate, but I'll take it. Even if it's 1% hatching rate, I'll take it. It's still success. Anyway, this is it. Hopefully, it will work for you. I hope you learned something. Thanks for sticking around, and don't forget to subscribe. See you later, guys.